All right, in this video, we're going to go over perimeters. Just as a reminder, perimeter is the distance around an object. Distance, or sometimes we refer to it as length too. Now, a couple of tips: make sure that all sides are added together. So you need to make sure you're familiar with what shape you're dealing with, and then units for perimeter is the same as the units of length of the object. So if the length of sides is in inches, then the perimeter is in inches, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at this first example. Given a pentagon, the side lengths 10, 16, 9, 17, 14, what is the perimeter? So if we're dealing with a pentagon, it should have 5 sides. Do I have 5 lengths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I sure do. So all we have to do is add those values together. So I take out my calculator, and I'm thinking, what's 10 plus 16 plus 9 plus 17 plus 14? I end up with 66. Okay, so for the next example, we have given a hexagon with perimeter 79 centimeters and side lengths 11, 17, 8, 14, and 10 centimeters. What is the length of the last side here? So remember, perimeter is you add up all those sides plus our missing side here. So we've got 11 plus 17 plus 8 plus 14 plus 10 plus that missing side should add up to be 79. All right, if you need to, take out that calculator. Gets us 60 plus x equals 79. Subtract 60 from both sides. Our missing side length is 19. Next one, what is the perimeter of the rectilinear object shown? Rectilinear just simply implies that all the angles meet at 90 degrees. Okay. So that means all these angles here are at 90-degree angles. What that allows us to do is then we could split this up then into rectangles to figure out our missing side lengths. So obviously when we take a look at this picture, we don't know every side length. However, because it's rectilinear, I can then, for instance, if I need to figure out this particular side, right, know that I can imagine making a rectangle such as this, which will have then 3 as a side length here. And let's see, this would be 4. So then this length up here would be 6. So then this would be 6. I'm using the rule, remember, that the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. That's the reason why I determined that this was 4. And then 10 subtract 4 would get me 6. And because opposite sides of a rectangle are equal, this 6 makes this side also 6. And same logic here, if this side is 8, then this whole side here is 8. So now when I add up all the sides, I'll start with this 4 and I'll go around the figure. So I've got 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 3 plus 10 plus 8. All right, add up all those sides, that will get us our perimeter. We end up with 36 as our perimeter. Now in this next example, we've got to figure out what the measure of each side is. They tell us what the perimeter is, right? In this case, they tell us that we have a perimeter of 160 millimeters, but they only give us a ratio of what the sides are. So if we think about this, we've got a rectangle, and the sides are in ratio of 3 to 1. So it looks something like this. So obviously this particular rectangle, if I added up all the sides, is 8, not 160. I need to find some factor that I can multiply each side by so that I get a perimeter of 160. Now the key to remember is that that factor multiplication has to occur to each side, and it must be the same amount in order to keep the 3 to 1 ratio. So now I need to figure out what this factor is, and I know that 3x plus 1x plus 3x plus 1x has to add up to be 160. So now I can just solve this equation. I get 8x equals 160. Divide by 8 both sides. That gets us 20. So we multiply each side by a factor of 20. That actually will then a new rectangle, right? 3 times 20 is 60. 20 times 1 is 20. 60, 20. So side lengths of the rectangle are 60 and 20.